"Excuse me, but this clause is a trap," she said calmly. Her dark eyes locked on the paper in front of her. The boardroom fell silent. The CEO, who had been smiling smugly moments before, suddenly froze. Everyone turned to look at her. This new intern, this young black girl no one had noticed before, just dismantled a multi-million-dollar lie. And in that moment, everything changed. Asterisk, they didn't even remember her name. She was the intern from the small university with the long, silent stares and the sharp eyes that followed every word, every movement, every whisper behind those glass doors. She never interrupted, never laughed too loud, never tried to join in when the others bragged about their expensive watches or vacations in Aspen. Her name was Nia, but most of them just called her the girl. She came from nowhere, a forgotten corner of Louisiana. Her mother cleaned houses. Her father was never spoken of. She had never seen snow until she came to the city. Her shoes were secondhand. Her laptop was old, slow, cracked at the corner. But inside her was something no one saw coming. She could read anything. Legal texts, thick and dense, meant to confuse even the experienced. She devoured them. While others skimmed, she dissected. She had no mentor, no safety net, no one to tell her what to do or what not to touch. So when she was handed the draft of the merger agreement, she read it, every single word. It was one of the biggest mergers the firm had ever managed, $2.8 billion between a rising tech company and a multinational energy conglomerate. The room had been buzzing for days. Everyone was excited. They were already planning bonuses, drinks, deals. No one expected anything to go wrong, and no one noticed page 83. Except Nia. She read the clause twice. Then 3 times. Point 1. Line. 1 sentence. Hidden in plain sight. In the event of restructuring, full proprietary rights shall revert to the primary management entity registered on file. It didn't sound alarming. Unless you knew what to look for. She looked. The primary management entity was a small company in the Cayman Islands, registered under a different name. But she traced it. Slowly, quietly, meticulously. It led back to Charles Vale, the CEO himself. It wasn't just a trap, it was theft. Elegant, silent, legal on the surface, criminal underneath. If the merger went through, ownership of every digital patent, every algorithm, every code would be transferred, legally, to a shell company. No one would know until it was done. Nia sat with the paper in front of her, heart pounding. She could have said nothing, signed off on it, walked away, stayed safe. But she couldn't. The day of the signing, she waited until the very end. Everyone was dressed in power. The boardroom was filled with confidence. Charles Vale was smiling, ready to finalize the deal that would make headlines across the country. And then came her voice, quiet, firm, unmistakable. "Excuse me," she said, "but this clause is a trap." The room fell quiet. One moved. Then slow turns of heads, confused expressions, amused ones, some annoyed. She was just the intern, but Charles Vale's smile faded immediately. She walked to the table, laid the papers down, opened her notes, read the line aloud. Then she presented the registration documents. Offshore connections. The ownership trail. It was clean, clear, undeniable. Everything traced back to him. The confidence in the room turned to tension. Laughter died in throats. Chairs creaked as people leaned forward. She didn't raise her voice. She didn't need to. Charles tried to brush it off, to accuse her of not understanding corporate law. But she had every citation ready, every law, every precedent. He reached for the documents. She pulled them back. Someone from the partner's side took copies and stepped outside. The signing paused. Within 48 hours, there were questions. Within a week, there was a full internal audit. Within a month, Charles Vale resigned. It became one of the biggest corporate scandals of the year. The attempted theft of a tech company's full asset base, stopped by an intern from a forgotten town with nothing but a mind trained in silence. She didn't ask for credit. She refused interviews. She took her certificate, her internship letter, and disappeared from the firm without a word. 2 years later, a new firm opened on the other side of the city. Small, simple, focused on transparency and ethics in corporate law. No marble floors, no private elevators. On the door was a nameplate. It read, Nia Wilson, attorney at law. No headlines, no handshakes, just her, the girl they forgot, The girl they underestimated. The girl who read the clause and changed everything.